If I got $1 every time somebody asked me how to close their pores, I would be rich. Today, we're going to be talking about pores and really putting things into perspective. There is so much terrible information out there, including that from estheticians and dermatologists, because the bottom line, what you're gonna hear is exfoliate, exfoliate, exfoliate. Just peel off that skin. Basically, in order to make something disappear, just remove the skin along with it. Not a solution. And you probably, if you've clicked on this video, you've probably tried different exfoliants and have not seen any results with pore size. First of all, let's just establish that pores are part of the structure of the skin. It's an opening within your skin. Every single one of us has pores. Pores are normal, but there's something that we can do about the size of the pore. The pore gets larger and larger over time with age. So there's a lot that you can do to prevent as well as correct to a certain extent. And let's actually debunk the whole thing with products that close up your pores. Yeah, we'll get into all of that. So if you're new here, my name is Nadia. I am the founder of the beautydoctrine.com and the principle of functional beauty, and that is a holistic approach to taking care of your skin, having your very best skin holistically, naturally, without intervention and without sensitivity. First things first, let's just understand why pores get larger in the first place. You've probably been told that pores are a sign of oiliness. People that are oily produce a lot of sebum, and as you're pushing that sebum out, it is also settling in your pore. They get larger and larger. Yes, but there is another culprit that most people don't really know or talk about because we don't correlate it with oily skin or those identifiers of oily skin, and that is simply loss of collagen. I want you to think of your skin as a nice thick mattress. You know, you sit on it when you first purchase it and it's like, you don't sink in, right? So it's got those coils. We're not talking about memory foam. We're talking about the old mattresses with the coils. So bear with me here. Let's imagine that. So now you have those coils. They're nice and firm. As we age, the mattress ages as you use it, a lot. What happens is that those coils start breaking. So let's think of that as our collagen. It starts breaking down, hence that mattress starts sinking in. So when it sinks in, you'll start seeing the hills and valleys, and those are larger pores. Freezing your skin or your muscles with Botox, not gonna help your pores. Fillers, not gonna help your pores. Maybe a temporary inflation of the skin can make them look a little bit smaller, but aging is still happening on the skin. So we really need to understand that all of these interventions that are being sold to us that are like a fix-all, they're not really fixing. They're just temporarily putting that band-aid on while the real damage is happening within the skin. So we need to understand how to actually take care of that skin, make it thicker, younger, longer. That boils down to two things, two strategies, very simple. First is to protect the collagen that you have. You gotta maintain it, don't destroy it, because it's gonna be an uphill battle from there. If you're destroying the collagen you have, you're gonna have a lot to repair. And then the second approach, obviously, is to repair, rebuild, regenerate. Both are possible. So let's talk about the first one. Protecting. How do you protect your collagen from breaking down? Well, just actively trying to incorporate as many healthy lifestyle habits as possible. So eating healthy, increasing your protein. I've seen this time and time again. Most of my clients, I would say more than 60 to 70%, especially those my age, late 40s into 50s, they lose collagen very, very quickly. Actually, when you hit menopause, you lose 30%, like super quick. Early in our lives, like in our 20s, we lose about 1%. And once that estrogen starts declining, collagen goes right downhill with it. So we have to pay attention. All right, so back to protecting what you have. If you smoke, you're breaking down your collagen very quickly. If you're out in the sun baking for long periods of time without protection, you're breaking down that collagen. Stress breaks it down, hormonal imbalances, and obviously just not consuming protein like I alluded to before. protein is the building blocks of collagen. Collagen is a protein in itself. It is the most abundant protein in our bodies, pretty much 70% of the protein within our body. Hair is made of protein, skin is made of protein, everything is made of protein. And so let's not just pay attention to collagen, we need to pay attention to collagen, which is a type of protein, and then your regular protein intake, which is, you know, all of your essential amino acids, which you can get from grass-fed beef as well as fatty fish. Those are the very best options. I can do another video going into the different types of proteins and which ones are healthiest, but these are really, if you go with these, you're good to go. And then of course, boosting with eggs. Eggs are phenomenal. They're like probably the most complete food out there. I love eggs. I consume them every day. You know, boosting with protein powders. But you know, the bottom line here is that most of us women do not consume enough protein, and we really ought to, because if we care about aging healthily, and of course our skin, we want to maintain that tightness and those really small pores, there is no way around that. Another point, this will probably trigger some of you, and that is alcohol. I know alcohol is really just mainstream. A lot of people want to kind of unwind in the evening with their glass of wine. And a lot of people believe that wine or alcohol helps them with their sleep. It actually helps you fall asleep, but you have worse quality sleep than if you didn't have the alcohol. And then there's the school of thought that red wine is rich in resveratrol, which is an antioxidant, which is so absurd to me. That's just a message that is propagated by the wine industry, because like, why wouldn't I just eat a few berries to have my antioxidants? Why do I have to go and get a poison? It's a pure poison. It's alcohol. It's dry. That's why the next day you have the hangover or the headache. That is because your body's trying to detoxify from that poison. So bottom line, I mean, I know a lot of people will still enjoy their evening glass of wine, and that's fine, but we're just here to educate. And if you want to minimize that, you know, breakdown in the skin and that faster aging, maybe reduce or stop alcohol consumption if you can. I'll probably create a more thorough video about how to prevent aging, going much deeper into all of these principles. But let's jump into regenerating and repairing the collagen that starts to break down. Like I said earlier, we start losing about 1% collagen every single year starting in our early 20s. So how do we repair that? We want to be producing collagen faster than we're losing it. So in addition to protecting what we have, we need to be consuming enough antioxidants and minerals. That's how our body can synthesize. We need to be able to make new collagen. So in addition to taking your collagen, a really good one, a marine collagen, and I have videos about that, that's really the only good option out there, is a good wild-caught marine collagen. I have my favorites on my website. And so in addition to taking that, to taking adequate amounts of protein every day, you want to make sure that you're having something with vitamin C every single day. Red peppers, kiwis, oranges. You can supplement with the vitamin C that comes from natural sources. And again, great healthy options you can find on the beautydoctrine.com. And then the next thing would be copper. Our bodies cannot even synthesize collagen without copper. If we're deficient in copper, we can't even make it. So you can be consuming all the collagen in the world. That's not going to help boost your own natural collagen production. So pay attention to those two elements: your antioxidant intake, especially vitamin C, and copper. And a good example of, you know, speedy or fast collagen breakdown is, you know, from smokers. People that smoke are 100% depleted of their vitamin C, and hence they age the fastest. And so if you're somebody that smokes that's watching this video, make sure you're taking extra amounts of vitamin C. Obviously, we don't want to overdo it, because now you're going to fall into like kidney issues because of the oxalates. So we never want to overdo anything, but you're continuing with maintaining that collagen density. Collagen and elastin go hand in hand. And so as we're replenishing, as we're boosting with vitamin C and copper and a healthy diet and protecting the collagen that we have with sunscreen, we need to also be maintaining that elastin. And so when you do this, the skin bounces right back. That means you still have elastin. When you pull it and it goes back, that means that you have elastin, like it hasn't broken down. What breaks collagen? Sugar. Simple. And so diets that are very high in sugar kind of cause this process. It's called glycation, and that is the hardening of that glucose. So that's where glycation comes from, glucose. So the glucose wraps around our, collagen and elastin. They get really stiff and then just break. And so that's another way. So again, you can be doing everything right, but consuming a lot of sugar and then seeing all that sag in the skin, and the sag is going to lead to large pores. The second way that we can maintain that bounce in the skin and that elastin is to moisturize. Moisturize like your life depends on it. I remember the days, probably 20 years ago plus, when it was really cool to use everything oil-free. I couldn't stand it when my clients would come to me and they're like, oil-free this, oil-free that, and they see an oil on a product and they freak out. And I never understood why brands would create a moisturizer that's not moisturizing. So literally, I'd be selling a product without moisturizing ingredients in it. It's like, what is the point? Why are we so scared of moisture? Anyways, we need to make sure that the skin is really, I was gonna say wet, but not wet, like really moisturized, like supple. You need that layer. For me, I'm not satisfied if I don't see it, if I'm not feeling that physical layer of moisture on the skin. That is the only way to protect the skin. It's extra protective from damage, from aging, from the sun, and also maintaining that elasticity, maintaining the skin's balance. You're not even gonna break out as much if you tend to break out if your skin is moisturized properly. Obviously, you wanna get an oil or a moisturizer that's suitable to your skin, but that is extremely essential to maintaining and protecting that collagen and elastin in the skin. So moisture equals elasticity and bounce in the skin. Other ingredients that contribute to that firmness in the skin are peptides, as well as gentle retinols or retinol alternatives. So I love rosehip oil, I love bakuchiol. I've done a few videos on retinol alternatives. I also have a blog about that. I'm happy to create a video just about that, so it's on my to-do list. But in the meantime, feel free to check out the blog about those ingredients that can actually help boost your collagen. I'll list or I'll add a link to that blog in the description below. As some of my followers know, I've interfaced with thousands of consumers over the last 28 years in the beauty industry, specializing in sensitive skin. And I've developed this eye. It's just when you see skin close up so much. I was a makeup artist early in my career. And I could tell like what people are using just by looking at their skin. So it got to a point where if somebody walks up and they're, sitting down in my chair for a makeover, I can tell what products they're using just by the condition of their pores. And so skin that looks almost like a hollow. So you see actually the shape of the pore. So it looks pretty empty. So generally speaking, when you have, oily skin that has that characteristic of, larger pores, you can see the shine, but you'll see that it's kind of pretty filled up. But there is this specific skin type where, you see pores, they're so visible, you can see them from afar, but it looks like a desert, it looks empty. And that's skin that has been aggressively using drying skincare ingredients. I could just tell. If I see somebody with that skin, I know that that type of skin that uses lots of exfoliants, lots of alpha hydroxys and beta hydroxys, drying cleansers and toners. It's a huge tell. And so my message here by saying this is, yes, you could be using all of those things that promise you smaller pores, but they actually lead to larger, more visible pores, because it feels like you've just emptied out your skin. You took out all the moisture and what's left is really just the texture of the skin. And so be aware of that. Take a look at the mirror. If you're that person that is after drying the skin for some reason to minimize pores or minimize acne, that is not the way. So just put a pin in that, just pause and look at your skin. And if it looks like what I just described, it's probably time to change up your skincare routine. Have you ever gone on vacation for a week and came back with large pores? Yes, it's happened. Many of my clients have had that. And it's when you spend excessive amounts of time in the sun, you're basically baking your skin. And so it's like putting food on the stove and you turn it too high, it's going to dry up super quick. So with your skin, you want to be gentle, enjoy the sun, enjoy the beach, but take breaks. You want to always protect. You still are going to get a tan, I promise. Even with a good sunscreen, when you are in a beach environment, in the summer sun, you're gonna get a tan regardless, but you want to be careful and you want to take breaks. So never spend more than 2 hours in direct sunlight. Even like if you're somebody that burns faster, maybe an hour. For me, I know what my limit is. I know what my burning, time is. Like I can burn about 45 minutes without any sunscreen whatsoever. With sunscreen, 2 hours is my limit. So I would go indoors, take a break, sit in the shade, drink some water, replenish and reapply my sunscreen and then head back out. So if you do that, you're not baking that skin super fast, which causes that severe dryness in such a short period of time. And so that makes your pores look really large. In addition to wearing protective, clothing, hats, sunglasses, all those things, there are a couple things that I would recommend that you do in preparation for getting in the sun during summertime. Consume foods that are really high in lycopene and beta carotene. Those actually give you that internal sunscreen. Don't rely on them solely, but they're going to be an extra layer of protection. And so especially tomato sauce. So start consuming maybe your favorite spaghetti or things that use tomato sauce or tomato paste in them. That's highly concentrated in lycopene. Beta carotene you'll find in orange vegetables and fruits. Secondly, use antioxidant-rich serums and moisturizers under your sunscreen because they're gonna be that additional protective layer against damage, free radicals, and breakdown of the skin. Another very big culprit to making your pores larger is just piling on layers and layers of makeup. So when you think about it, these days people use skincare is probably like 5 to 10 steps. Sometimes if you're into the Korean thing, maybe you're using 20 steps, and then you're applying primer and then foundation, concealer, powder, bronzer, blush. That is a lot. Setting spray. I don't even understand all of that. That's just a lot for the skin. We're just caking stuff into the skin. It's being pushed into the pores. And then not everybody, but I know some people do not cleanse properly. So if you fall asleep early, you fall asleep with your makeup on, that is one of the worst things that you can do to your skin, because as those pores are being filled, you're stuffing all these things in the pores, they're weighing the pore down and then it's stretching. So just think about that. If you produce an oil, so oily skin produces oil from the inside out, that stretches the pore. Also, if you're depositing things, you're piling all that stuff on, that's going to make that pore appear larger. In addition to you absorbing all those toxins, all the pollution, all the stuff that accumulates on your face throughout the day, you really want to make sure that you are removing it and you're not just using one cleanser, you're double cleansing. That is how you can keep those large pores at bay, allow your skin to tighten right back up. So when you empty that pore properly in the evening, you're gonna allow it overnight to get back to its original state. So an oil cleanser first, a cream cleanser second if you're dry, or a foaming cleanser second if you're oily. I'm going to add my very favorite cleanser recommendations in the description below. Now that you understand all the different causes of large pores, you probably can guess the remedies. So obviously great protection, sunscreen, cleansing your skin, double cleansing your skin, using clean ingredients that are not providing all those toxins and all that to your skin, boosting your collagen from the inside out and the outside in. So the inside out is what? Your collagen and your supplements, your vitamin C, your copper, good diet that's rich in protein. And then from the outside in, it's going to be your peptides, good moisturizers that are rich in good emollients, and good oils that are going to nourish your skin from the outside in. Now we can get to talking about exfoliation. Typically, it's the first thing that comes up because there's this really narrow-minded view of looking at skin. It's like, oh, there's a pore. You keep peeling it off until this, you don't see it as much. That's not how it works. You can't just keep taking off live layers of skin. We have the dead layers, which are still on the surface. Your alpha hydroxys can remove them easily, or your enzymes, fruit enzymes. And then there are products that actually push cellular turnover. They accelerate cell death. Actually, they kill live cells, so those cells they die, they come up to the surface, so you can remove them. And those are typically retinoids. A lot of dermatologists and estheticians push so much for retinoids. I'm not a fan of powerful retinoids. I like a gentle retinol, so you're causing some cell renewal very gently without causing so much inflammation. And I love retinol alternatives. And so we want to go really slow with the skin. We want to be nice to it. We want to be gentle with the skin. If we want it to reward us back by being even and glowing and having smaller pores, but an aggressive routine with powerful retinoids and then glycolic and all this stuff, like all the skin cycling, it doesn't lead you anywhere. I'm sure you've seen a lot of horror stories with that, or if you've seen people that actually come on here and say, we have amazing experiences with tretinoin, those are usually short-lived experiences. It's not for the long term. So be nice to your skin, it'll reward you right back. Now, there are so many products on the market that promise you to minimize pores. I promise you. I've been in this industry for 28 years. I worked with so many brands and so many consumers, have tried it all, recommended it all, have seen it work, not work. There is no product that you can just apply on the skin that will close your pores. Your pores don't have a door. You can't just shut them. Those are open structures in our bodies. They're there. There's nothing bad about them. We just want to make sure that we're not contributing to making them larger. And so if there is a product that promises you that is going to close your pore, don't waste your money on it. Or if it's going to minimize them, no. So just understand what it is that creates that pore or kind of makes it look larger, and then how to address that, applying these principles and advice that I provided in this video. So hopefully you find it helpful. Please apply them. Let me know your experiences with this. I would love to hear from you. Pass this video along to somebody that is probably drying out their skin, trying to get rid of those pores, or that's interested, that's looking to find a solution for large pores. And let me know what else you want me to talk about on this channel. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Until next time, be well, be safe, be beautiful. Take care.